Now, I know that we're going to be going over a lot of information, and if you have any questions, you can always email me. However, we are leaving today to go to some remote islands to do some exploring while Frank is on vacation. And so if I don't answer your emails, don't worry. I will answer them as soon as I get cellular connection. All right. So like I said, we're going to be going over a lot of information. The first thing that we're going to go over is the soul profile. Now, the first thing is your primary energy of your soul is divine masculine. Now remember, that has nothing to do with sex. I'm also primary divine masculine. It just means that we're more connected from the heart chakra up to the heavenly planes, to the godly planes, or however you want to look at it, to source. Whereas divine feminines are connected from the heart chakra down to the earth chakra. So it's just a matter of the perspective that you're coming from. So if you're on a Kundalini awakening or a twin flame journey, that's the perspective that you're coming from. All right. Now the next thing that we're going to go over is your primary gift. Now we've already done your activation for your divine soul blueprint, which that automatically brings you into alignment with all the energy center gifts, which makes you equally powerful in all the gifts. But awesome, your primary is divine creation, and that is the second energy center, which is beautiful. Now I'm not going to go over all that information because you do have the video that explains all the energy centers, but that is your primary gift. That's the gift that makes up the largest portion of your divine soul blueprint. All right, so the next thing that we're going to go over, super exciting, is your soul origination group. This is where your soul originated at as an individual essence. We actually come from the same soul group. Awesome. And, you know, I find that I do attract a lot of Mintakans because Mintakans, we love to be around other Mintakans because they make us feel good. And here's why. I'm about to read over this for you. Find it. All right. So the name of our home planet is called Mintaka. This would also mean that you're a starseed, in case you're following that paradigm. Mintaka is located in the constellation of Orion, and most Mintakans will recognize this constellation and constantly look at it in the night sky. Mintaka was a water world and a utopian civilization where no one made conscious negative choices. Mintakans have a very hard time with the amount of willful negativity on our planet. They do not understand choices to go to war, to hurt others, to lie or be mean. Their great gift is to see only the positive potential in others. And this makes others feel extremely good about themselves. Mintakans often have rose-colored glasses on. They focus on the positive side of life. The glass is always half full, and every cloud has a silver lining. They are often completely blindsided by other people's choices for negativity. They simply don't understand these choices. Mintakans do not have the capacity to make conscious negative choices. If they know it's wrong, they can't do it. Mintakans tend to invest themselves heavily in other people's potential. They usually are everyone's cheerleader and the person others turn to when they need to feel good about themselves. Mintakans need to develop greater discernment between someone's potential and the truth of who they actually are, as evidenced by their choices and current consequences. Mintakans have a tendency to take on people as projects. This is especially true of Mintakans in romantic relationships. They tend to pick partners based on who that person wants to become rather than who they are. Mintakans tend to overestimate others. Most people actually never step into their potential. They just enjoy being in the energy of someone who upholds it for them. Mintakans can end up highly disillusioned and disappointed by others. They give people 4, 5, or 6 chances, even when they are being heavily taken advantage of, because they don't expect negative choices from others. They must focus on embracing their own potential and actually leverage their ability to uplift others and bring out the best in them in a way that serves the Mintakan rather than exhaust them. Mintakans have an odd relationship with water. They will love being around it and in it. But some Mintakans don't like dark water, such as the ocean or a lake. On their homeworld, sun filtered through to the bottom of the ocean. Water is a very healing element for Mintakans, although being near it often fulfills that purpose. Because their homeworld is no longer inhabitable, Mintakans often feel a strange, sad longing for home. They love working from home and tend to be nesters. Awesome. All right, so the next thing that we're going to go over is your current soul vibration rate. This is where your higher self is currently vibrating. Now, every time you receive reading and clearing work, your higher self will shift vibrationally, and you will also shift at the physical level, the 3rd dimension. So you will feel this work. Now, your higher self is currently vibrating at a 5.9. So it's right on the edge of crossing into the 6th dimension, which is beautiful, which is why you probably felt your higher self was like nudging you. Come on, let's do this. Let's do this. Definitely. And every time your higher self crosses into a new dimension, you gain new levels of awareness, new levels of consciousness, new aspects of yourself to have the human experience. You also get downloads for the energy center gifts as well. So awesome job. All right, now the next thing we're going to go over, there is a physical history that would benefit your soul growth at this time. Now you can Google about this this period of history, or you can read books about it, watch television series, watch movies that were based in this time period. But it's Old Kingdom Egypt from 3000 to 2000 BC. And then there's also a mystery school that would benefit your soul growth at this time, and it's also Ancient Egypt. Now you want to Google the key principles of this mystery school. Doesn't mean you need to go out and find a church. Read over the key principles. Take what resonates and toss the rest. And then do this once a week for the next 3 weeks. I will be sending you some homework to ground this clearing work. So make sure that you follow the instructions in that PDF. All right, so the next thing, ooh, this is a big thing too, is you are a candidate for a secondary God spark. Awesome. These are rare. And yours is going to come in at the 7th chakra, the crown chakra. So, and it's going to give you extreme enhanced abilities to manifest. But remember, with power comes responsibility. So make sure that you're very clear with your intentions, what you want. And if you're not actively setting those goals every new moon, you need to get into this rhythm. Also, to make sure, do not leave out the emotions you want to experience because of the manifestation. So if you want to go on a dream vacation, right, to Hawaii, make sure you list the emotions that you want to experience: bliss, peace, serenity, harmony. Because you could manifest that trip and it could turn into a total opposite polarity experience. So definitely list those emotions. And just be very conscious about your intentions and your manifestations, because with this secondary God spark, it's going to give you additional vital life force energy into that chakra, into that energy center gift. So you can also reference divine power, the 7th energy center, which you also have that in your DSB activation recording of all the energy centers, which also includes your primary, which is divine creation. Now, also too, with these reading and clearing works, we all have a primary God spark. This is where we receive vital life force energy from spirit. Now, there's nothing more powerful than free will. Through free will choice, we can consciously or even subconsciously make negative choices that negate us away from spirit, okay? And it causes God spark damage. It also causes disease, physical ailments, and it also causes premature aging. So the more reading and clearing work that you receive, the more healed your God spark chamber and your God spark will become. So you will feel this work. Literally, like if I cut my finger now, literally like within 24 hours, it's completely healed. It's crazy. So definitely awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so the next thing that we're going to go over is prayers, setting intentions, setting goals. Every time you do these actions, you attract what's called white lights. Look at those like radio towers, okay? Universe, I want a new car. It goes out over the white lights and then into the universe. And then after you attract 30 white lights, which you have, awesome, then you start attracting blue satellites in space. So it goes out over the white lights into the blue lights, which then it's amplified into each following blue light. You currently have 9 blue lights. So you have a tremendous network set up with the universe. So keep doing what you're doing, but also too, with that secondary God spark coming in, you need to be very clear and detailed, specific and detailed. So you can have one specific intention, but then write out how will this manifestation change your life, and then be as elaborate as you choose. And then you can list as many emotions too there as well. Now, also too, when your secondary God spark comes in, you may or may not feel it. Some clients do, some clients don't. It'll come in between 4 to 7 days. And for me, I received one at the 6th chakra. So it was like pressure on my 3rd eye. So you may have some pressure around your crown, or it might even feel like a headache or a tingling sensation. All right, now the next thing is you currently have 5 spirit guides, and these are the spirit guides that are in your inner circle. These are with you 24/7. Now they're all positive, so awesome. Now I do offer spirit guide coaching. You can purchase that service. You can either get like a full profile that comes with very similar, just like what we just did for your soul, for each one of your spirit guides, you know, where they're from, what their primary gift is, even what they look like and their name. And then it also comes with channeled messages from each spirit guide. Now you can ask 1 to 5 questions, but it's not necessary because they do have messages for you. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. But again, I will be out for a few days, so if I don't respond, I will get back to you. All right, so that is the soul profile, and I know that's a lot of information, so please feel free to watch this video as many times as you choose, okay? Now, the next thing that we're going to go over, and I write all this out, that's why I'm always reading. It's a lot of preparation work that goes into this. So the next thing that we're going to go over is the actual soul realignment, the actual clearing work. All right, so level 1 clearing work is in the 5th dimension at the emotional body. Okay, so these are always blocks from past lives. They always come with a story. And it's about understanding what happened in that past life that created these energetic blocks. And that's what's holding you back from living the reality that you desire in this lifetime. Now, we cannot clear everything at once because you will shift at the physical level. And we could not survive a vibrational shift like that and still maintain stability in our physical bodies. So we clear what we're able to shift comfortably at the physical level. Now, as you get into level 2 and level 3 clearings, level 2 blocks are held in the 4th dimension, in the mental body. So those are like beliefs, cords, illusions, those type of blocks. Now those blocks are denser than level 1. And then level 3, of course, are the densest blocks, and those are in the 3rd dimension at the physical level. And some of those blocks would include DSB code corruptions, negative unconscious patterns, archetypes, but they're extremely dense. Now, as you go along, you'll intuitively feel when you need more clearing work. Most clients get it more often in the beginning just to get that momentum going, okay? And it's based on time between sessions. So if you order your next reading and clearing, and you never know what level blocks are going to come up. Sometimes you have more level 1, sometimes it's just level 2, sometimes it's level 1, 2, and 3, sometimes it's just 2 and 3. It just depends on you as an individual. But let's say you order a reading and clearing within 3 to 4 weeks. It would be $22.22. Now, if there are more level 1 blocks that you're ready to clear, those are an additional charge because they are more time consuming. So now those readings are boring a little bit, especially level 2s and level 3 blocks, but you will feel those clearings more intensely. Now, like I said, level 1 always has a story. I don't go over all the blocks because it would take way too long and it's just way too boring. You can look on my YouTube channel. I do have a video on there that says Akashic Reading and Clearing Level 1 blocks, and I list all the blocks. But if there's anything that I need to bring to your awareness, I will. Like, for example, if you have an earthbound spirit, obviously we would go over that attached to you, But there's not anything really that I need to go over with you. I will say this much. You will see a huge shift in synchronicity. Huge. In fact, it might be a little alarming. You are actually going to be running into souls that you have soul contracts with that will help you and move you on with your soul growth. So that is going to be very significant for you. Now, the next thing, there are specific level 1 blocks that are denser than the other level 1 blocks. And they're created through extreme exchanges of energy. So some sort of trauma, drama, distress, something happened in a past life, which actually your higher self, the way that she told the story, it was like, I'm like, well, that doesn't seem that traumatic. But every higher self is different. So, but these are the energies that were cleared. These were the energies behind the blocks. Anxiety, self-criticism, chaos, dependence, self-doubt, judgment, confusion, despair, loss, humility. Now, of course, it does not mean that you're not going to experience any of those things again, okay? Because we've lived thousands of lifetimes. And a lot of those lifetimes, we tend to make the same choices and consequences. We tend to engage in the same polarity spectrum, right? But the more reading and clearing work that you get and receive, the more stable you'll become in your center. You'll start to experience those energies less and less until barely at all. All right, so what happened in this lifetime? Now, this actually occurred 53 lifetimes ago, which, relatively speaking, wasn't that long ago, but it was lifetimes, not years. So it was a long time ago. In this lifetime, you were born in France to a wealthy banking family. Very, very wealthy. You were well educated and very studious. However, you were a woman, and your father would not allow you to attend college or any type of vocational school or even work, really. And, you know, it just wasn't something women were allowed to do. I mean, they couldn't even own property. Now, you had many suitors, but you preferred to spend your time reading and studying architecture. And then you soon found yourself a hobby in sculpturing. You met a struggling artist while purchasing supplies. Now, this would have been someone that was very poor, very outside of your social class. Now, you had created some masterpieces by this point, and your father was so proud of your artwork. He put them all around the estates and featured them in his businesses and banks. However, you fell in love with the poor artist. And when you told your father, whoa, he forbid you to see him again. Now, when you stood your ground, he actually struck you hard across the face, and he threatened to cut you off financially. However, you didn't care. You left your home with the clothes on your back, and your father locked all of your artwork up. So he took it all and probably put it in a vault or something in the bank. Now, your lover got sick and died of influenza shortly after this. So, I mean, it was like within 1 or 2 months. So here you are living this whole completely different lifestyle. So it was traumatizing, for you. You'd never had to think about money, let alone worry about how you were going to eat or where you were going to live. Your father refused to forgive you. He was very prideful and extremely humiliated. And then you got sick and died the following winter. You were heartbroken, grief-stricken, and alone. But like I said, we've cleared these blocks. It's just a matter of bringing it into your awareness, into your consciousness. So, again, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me. But just please understand that I may not respond right away, but I will respond as soon as I'm available. Mwah. Blessings into infinity.